No, we lost to a good team. We played hard. I love these guys, win or lose. Because we repeatedly don't get big stops at the end of the game, I probably should have went zone. So I'll tell whoever we play, next time if it's one play to go and the game's on the line, we're playing zone. I'll tell everyone we play that right now immediately. Because it's the same thing as St. Louis, tied, they score. VCU, we're up, they score. This game, we're up, they score. To be really good, I mean, you look at it, and this is a coaching cliche, but it's so true. 7-1 in close games last year, 1-4 this year. But that is not by accident. That is not by luck. You can't lose focus. You can't not battle every second. You can't, at the end of the game, design 2 plays that you've run since October and not be able to run them. You can't do those things. But I love them, and they played hard. But as we've talked about many times, the difference between winning and losing is incredibly tiny. It was incredibly tiny again here tonight. And there's a mentality that comes with winning those games. But it's not like our guys, they play hard. And I love them win or lose. But I believe, I used to think when I used to win those games, in a humble way, we were lucky. Now that I lose those games, I just think, we should have, whether it's in the first half or the second half, we need to have fewer lapses.
Do you think at some point, were you expecting these close losses to kind of kick them in? Like, were you waiting for that?
No, I'm not sure I understand your question.
Like, were you waiting for them to kind of say, hey, we see the difference between last year to this year. We understand now what we need to do.
No, you don't understand. The difference is so tiny. It's like trying to find, are there 10 grains of sand there or 9 grains of sand? Like, this is not a big difference, okay? It is a personality, a relentlessness, an approach that's incredibly subtle. This is subtle. If you came to our practices, it would not be that much different from you last year. If you spend time with us, it's not that much difference. It is a tiny difference, but it's all the difference.
John, that said, the shot that Tyreek had, it looked like it was online.
Yeah, it did. It did. I would have been real happy. This would be completely different.
But I guess what I was trying to say was...
But as a coach, you really, when you lose these games, you don't, of course if that shot goes in, you feel great, okay? And you could chalk that up for luck. But that doesn't teach you anything. That doesn't make you any better.
John, Tyreek and Sam, they played a lot of minutes for 4 years. Taylor was with the team 4 years. Tyron played a lot for 2 years. What do you say to them after a game like this?
I told them I love you win or lose. That's exactly what I told them.
And a guy like Tyreek that did so much here, what's his legacy going out? I know it's not over yet, but last game in the building.
Well, I think again, this year from a wins losses perspective is a big disappointment. But I mean, we had one really good year and one great year, and I still think that this class is going to have like the highest winning total in how many years?
25 years.
So, listen, they've had more success in terms of wins and losses than any group in 25 years. That's not bad. I mean, you've got to go back to Lionel to find guys who have won more games here. And they've been great kids. Tyreek statistically is a guy who will probably get some kind of Hall of Fame recognition at LaSalle and the Big Five in future years. So I think their legacy is terrific. I think we'll always have a bitter taste in our mouth about this season, but there's so many things that contributed to it, and the differences are frankly small. I mean, it's with the exception of our shooting, and that's on me. That's on me too. I was grossly over-optimistic about our ability to shoot the ball. I may have been the most blind coach in the world to think that we would be a good shooting team again. But if you look at Tyreek shot it well in the past, Sam shot it well in the past, DJ shot it well in the past, Tyrone was getting better. You know, we had a year to work with Khalid, breaking his hand and different chemistry things, I think, contributed to hindering his progress. But yeah, we're definitely a shooter short, and that's completely, utterly my fault.
Coach, is there anything you can do to kind of reclaim some of the magic of last season still this year?
Yeah. Yeah,
Your players seem to think that your players feel like they're still, you know.
One more play, yeah. We'd be going into St. Joe's with a great winning streak. It's one more rebound, one time not falling asleep on the screen, one time remembering how to execute a set, one more 50-50 rebound. Of course they can. They're very close. Yeah, of course they can. They're very close.
So what do you now? How do you push them to be not close but better?
You tell them. We just, here's the lesson is, every play, every second of every practice and every game matters tremendously. It's a relentlessness, you know, and, last year our leader was ridiculously hyper and energetic. This year our leaders are tremendously poised and laid back and under control, and maybe we're a little too poised and laid back.
Sean Jarrell and Steve had a less productive game than they
Yes.
had been having. What was it that?
Credit to George Mason. Their big guys really did a great job. It's not like they weren't trying. George Mason's guys, they deserve credit.
So it was a strong defense.
Well, I think that they scored. George Mason scored. They got rebounds. They were physical defensively. I think their big guys were terrific, and I saw it on tape. And they got the better of us for a night. But it's not like we weren't trying. But they deserve credit. I don't think it was any lack of effort. I put it right. It certainly wasn't any lack. They tried. They tried, and they had good attitudes, and George Mason guys played real well.
Coach, do you guys still feel like you can turn a few heads when it comes to this A-10 tournament in a few days?
I think we can win. Coaches and players at this level, especially when you've had success before, believe you can win every game. You never go into a game thinking that you're going to lose or that you can't win. So I think there's going to be a bunch of teams in Atlantic City, there's going to be a bunch of teams in the Barclays Center that believe they can win, and it's going to be a dogfight and great games, and no one's going to lie down. It's going to be March Madness.
What does having a kid like Sam for 4 years mean to a program?
It means that you could sleep at night knowing that you have a great kid on campus that you never have to worry about. It means knowing that you're going to have another kid that graduates and reflects well on the school and will be successful in life. It means that no matter how well he plays or doesn't play, he's always going to give great effort. I mentioned on the video board, and I think this with Sam, especially in terms of his effort, that the greatest ability is dependability. Sam always tries, and there's nothing I respect more than always trying. And Sam always tries, and he's wonderful off the court.
Okay. Thanks, guys.